Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we're going over Tommander's defense. They're 33 million-ish or something like that operating in Masters. And this was kind of a tricky one to figure out because when you're up in Masters, things start getting different. You play with a fuller roster. You are on the razor's edge of efficiency, and things get really crazy. And I didn't really like Tommander's defense setup, and we kind of want to make some major changes, which is kind of scary because one thing, they're operating with some newer characters that we're not used to operating with down here in the Wood Leagues. I'm not in Wood, I'm actually in Diamond 3. Okay. I had Dulo on the horn today. We were talking about this behind the scenes with chat, and if you want to be a part of that conversation, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays-ish in the mornings, we're playing Marvel Strike Force and some other games these days. We're trying to mix it up a little bit, so you can join us for these conversations. We do these Defense Up a lot. Also, if you want your defense featured on Defense Up, links in the description below. Send it to me. Enough with the self-plugging. Room number 1 is the Gamma team. Here's the thing. We don't really like Gamma on defense. It's a great team, but it doesn't utilize the room bonuses as well as you would like. Their nerf isn't so much a nerf as just like a headwind. They're still a super powerful team. So you can find places to use them on offense and defense still to this day, but I don't like them in portable shield device because there are no fortifiers and no strikers on this team, so it's like a blank room. It's kind of a healer Gamma setup with 3 healers and 2 raiders. If there was a striker or 2 on here, or if there was a fortifier level 5, I would say this is great. But it's not. So it's kind of like we should be doing something better. Let's treat it like a blank room, or better yet, let's throw in the Infinity Watch into room 1 because there's a lot of strikers in there naturally, and you can just run that team like normal and they won't be getting the offense down. And the Infinity Watch is just a slog defense to get through. You're almost always going to be using it on defense because you're definitely not going to be using it on offense. So I like that. Now let's keep Gamma in mind because we may use parts and pieces of it elsewhere as we go through. But that's my first bit of advice. I think this is a waste of a room, basically. So I'm gonna go A- on this one. I'm not super excited about the ISOs on this team, but I think we should swap it with Infinity Watch, and for the time being, let's pull Gamma to offense. Room number 2 is the Unlimited team. We like Unlimited as a 5-piece in here. We like Unlimited as a 4-piece with Emma for a little bit of a speed adjustment. That's not gonna fool anybody in Masters. So Tommander is trying Nova in here. What the heck, why not? Nova's new. Let's see how that plays into that walking hate counter. Let's see how that plays into the mirror match. I don't know, but he's got a fully built and developed Nova. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this an A+ because it's new, it's different, and I don't know how it's gonna come out. Chat couldn't help me with this one either. A lot of people were like, nah, not sure if that's gonna work. Maybe you should use him in 5 somewhere because then he'll open with his battlefield effect on the ultimate. Might be something to think about as you theory craft around those room 5 rules. But for right now, until we get further word, I think this is a great place to try him out and see what happens. Results may vary depending on the size of your roster, but I'm okay with this. I do actually kind of like Rogue as a striker, but since you've got Nova in here as a striker, making her the skirmisher works really well. So I'm gonna go A+ for this for the time being. We may find some major counters, but Nova's new enough that you might get some good results. Team number 3 is the Creeping Spiders room. We went Tangled Eternals with Doc Ock. Doc Ock is in here to try to mess with the new warrior counter. They can't get the offense down, so a cloak doesn't get the speed up effect because he's not landing the offense down. However, I am told by people smarter than me that you can still beat that with the new Warriors composition. It's just a deterrent. It just makes it a little bit longer of a match, and it'll still work. Now, in Masters, people have a full 5-piece new Warriors team and can go in and destroy this. Elsewhere, like even Diamond 3, I don't have a 5-piece new warrior team, so I can't do that. So I keep both my Tangled Web and Eternals for offense, and I treat this like a blank room is what I normally do. Throw in a YA or something. what we're thinking, even in the Masters level, is that we should pull Tangled for offense, leave the Eternals, get rid of Doc Ock. He's not helping anybody here. He's not big enough. In fact, he's kind of a liability because his summons is going to be small enough that another Icarus could double tap off of it. So we're going to go Eternals YA with Noir. I don't like Noir. You should not pass T4 his passive, we're finding out, the way that works with the new Warriors. You could give yourself some benefit on defense by not T4ing his passive. Go check out Dorky Dad's video if you want to see an explanation for that. So yeah, that's what we like, is like a Squirrel Girl with Noir and maybe a Kate or a Miss Marvel in here for a taunt. Your choice, but then go Eternals. It's a big, tough team. I ran into that this morning on stream and underestimated the size of the Eternals, and it backfired, and I had to double tap the room because I wasn't really paying attention to it. So that's a better trick, because then you're saving your Tangled for offense, and you may need them. For me, I don't like this. I think it's a waste of what you could be using, and I don't think that Doc Ock is doing you any favors here. I understand the attempt. I don't think it's going to work. Hopefully Doc Ock gets reworked into a tech raid team. That would be awesome. I'm not crossing my fingers because Scopely told us that we're not getting reworks to characters. So let's clean this up. Let's go Eternals YA Noir in here and see what we can make happen with that. I'm gonna give this one a B-. It's not terrible, it's just kind of wasteful. Room number 4, it's Wakandans. We skip it. Room number 5 is Infinity Watch. Now, we wanted to move this to room 1, which leaves this room open. I don't like Gamma in here because Red Hulk doesn't he like goes 2 turns before he gets his ult. He doesn't get his special. It doesn't play out very well. Excuse me. So what we're gonna put in here is Darkhold with APOC or Darkhold with Quicksilver. I personally like keeping Apocalypse on offense so that you can use him to do things like going to Darkhold with Quicksilver. Quicksilver is probably the way to go. That's my favorite choice. Darkhold with Quicksilver in 5. It's what everybody's doing. It's kind of popular. And keeping APOC for offense, however, I would still give an A to a Darkhold APOC team. It just changes the way the matchup takes place. Instead, you're kind of getting stuck on 5 and going after the other 5 rooms. You can still beat it. It's just that's your catch point. And you either have the offensive tools to beat your opponent's room, or neither of you have the offensive tools to beat your opponent's room easily, and it becomes a bit of a slog. So APOC Quicksilver is my first choice, but Darkhold Quicksilver is my first choice, but Darkhold APOC is also very good. Just plays out differently. Let's move this to room 1. Now, in room 6, this is the Rebirth team, and we've got Red Guardian in here. That's a thing you can do. You can also do Kingpin in here for that pre-taunt tank, right? Better yet, we like Zemo giving the Winter Soldier the speed up on turn, and if your Winter Soldier is big enough, he can delete a fool. Better than that, though, we like Green Hulk in here, because then you get that taunt bouncing around between Captain America and Hulk, and it gives Peggy the chance to revitalize the team and keep them going, and it can turn into an absolute massacre if you can't get through those characters. We like Green Hulk. We're hearing lots of good things about Green Hulk as the 5th. That'll leave your Gamma team on offense missing a piece. You can do something like Gamma Dorm, Gamma Doom, Gamma Nova, all sorts of different things, and Gamma isn't going to have a specific target, but they can pretty much smash anything. Even with their nerfs, they're still great. So I like Gamma for offense with a space for the 5th. I like Green Hulk in here. This is okay. I'm gonna say A-. I just think that there are 2 better choices, which is gonna be either Zemo or Green Hulk in here. And if you want, you can still run it as a 5-piece team. That's acceptable as well, but there's just better options out there. So this has been Tommander's defense. They're doing a great job in Masters. So it's scary making such big changes to a roster like this. And so I tried to put it out there for you guys at different levels of what's going on. I really think that this Infinity Watch in 5 is a mistake, and I would like to see Darkhold in here instead. I don't think Darkhold is going to be that useful on offense, especially for efficiency reasons. So that's my advice there. Remember, guys, don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and others too, and I'll see you next time. Bye.